Hello, everyone. It's been a long time, and I have to say, I missed you guys. Did you miss me? You what? You know you did. You know you did. Well, I just want to tell you that we are back. And we have so many special things for you this time around. You know, last time we got into just talking about fashion and all of the fun things about fashion and, looks like my beautiful outfit that I have on today. But we're going to start diving a little deeper than we were before. We are going to tell you the untold stories of the fashion industry. And why? Because there's so many people that want to get involved into fashion but don't know every aspect of that industry. So it's time to start talking about the hard things. It's time to start talking about, models who didn't make it or designers who, I don't know, felt the need to take their own life. But in the end, we're going to all talk about it together. Stay tuned.
Badass us. Yeah, that's right. That's who we are. Badass us. What? Who are we? We are women. Beautiful, accomplished, and divine. That's right. Badass us. Yeah. Who are we? We are gentlemen. Are our brothers accomplished and determined? Yet, as society see us, we must still change the narrative. Yeah, that's right. Who are we? The black community. Remember us? We are accomplished. We are determined. We are divine. We are of greatness. That's right. The black community. Badass us. Who are we? That's right. Who am I? I am the person committed to building the next community movement. What about you?
All right, you guys. I want to thank you for paying close attention to our sponsor. Okay, I know you enjoyed that brief commercial break from our sponsors, but we're going to now dive into today's show. I want to first welcome my guest, Miss Champagne. Hello, Champagne. How are you
Hi,
today?
I'm doing good today. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome.
Yes, as you should.
Thank you. I'm feeling as good, almost as good as you look. Look at
Thank
you.
you, thank you. It's a little
Yes.
something I pulled out from the closet. That's all.
See, and that's what it's about, you guys. Like I said, we are going to talk about fashion as she is very stylish today, as you know. Okay. But while she is here, we're going to get into a couple of things. First thing we're going to do is we're going to offer Champagne our signature Chanel East Coast hat. She's going to wear this while she hears a special story that I want to share with her in regards to the wonderful, wonderful Giovanni Versace. Before we get in, here we go. So this is a hat for you.
Thank you.
Because as
thank
you know, I know, right? There you go. It look good right there. What? Just a forward, just a little bit, right
Yeah,
in
just a
there.
little bit.
Yep. And look, you guys, see? Great minds think alike because
Yeah.
the hat goes perfect with the fit.
Yes, indeed.
And I expected to do that, so that's That's what it's all about. And that's one of the reasons I wanted you to be a guest on my show. Because one, you do awesome makeup. Okay, you guys, listen, I'm not kidding with you. I'm going to say that address, 11110 Mall Circle, Waldorf, Maryland. Runway Studio Salon is where you will find Champagne doing awesome makeup like the awesome makeup she did for me today. So you guys, look, take your phone and zoom in. Like, you just take your finger, put it on it, and do like that, right? Zoom, look. Don't play with me. You saw it. You saw it. And if you didn't see it, let me tell you where you can find the palettes that she used. Now, what's the name of the palettes that you use?
The palette is called Coachella
Carror. Yes. Coachella Carror, you guys. And we actually have it here for you. We have a lot. There's a lot of different colors in here.
Very pigmented. Very pigmented.
And see, I wouldn't know any of that because she's the makeup artist. So I just know I love these colors. I love the brand. As you guys know, of course, it is my brand, but I don't do makeup. Champagne is the one for that. She's awesome. So I want you guys to make sure you check her out. And we are definitely doing a thing for Halloween where you can come to Runway Studio and you can get a soft look, you can get a glam look, or you can get a makeup look for Halloween. What do you think about that?
Yes, honestly, I do all types of styles. So if you want like graphic liner, I do that. If you want a certain cosplay of a character, I do that. If you want dramatic, glam, runway, if you want a date night look, I do all types of look. I have no limits whatsoever. I do 90s aesthetic, I do 2000s, I do all type of eras of makeup looks. And if you don't believe me, you can always check out on my Instagram at infinityisaangel, INFINITYISANGEL, and you will see so many looks I have underneath of all of it.
That's right, y'all got that. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys, make sure you check her out because she is not here to play with you. She is beating these faces, okay, and she is making her way up and up as far as she can possibly go. And one thing I wanted to do today in talking about that is ask you, like, so I know you do house calls, right? So sometimes you do go out and you go to other people events and calls and things like that. Yes. So if you guys wondering like, well, how does that all tie into Giovanni and Versace, here's why. See, back then they didn't do house calls, and yet something terrible still happened to him. Back then they didn't have social media and people who stalk on social media and, you know, try to hurt you in the background. They didn't have it social media wise back in the day. So if someone was willing to do something like that to Giovanni, then Versace, then, you know, what is it like now when you have artists like yourself going out into people's homes or events and things like that? It can seem a little scary. So I just feel like, you know, if we stop allowing everyone to think that fashion is all about the fun and the beauty and all of that, then maybe certain people would take more time to pay attention to what they're ingesting when they're at these events, who they're around, who they're letting in their home, you know, even how they respond to their followers and their guests. So you guys, when we come back, we're going to definitely get more into Versace, who he is, why he became who he is, and what the outcome of his life has been.
Yes, that's right.
And until then, you guys, here's another short break from our sponsors. We'll see you soon.
It is key that you mind your mental health.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing this week? Hi.
Use the 5 keys to mental movement.
Really monumental week for me. I realized that I was not being myself.
Reaching out.
Be positive attitude person self, like you guys know me to be.
Staying upbeat.
And get back to that happy, cheery self of me.
This week's been kind of
being
stressful
creative.
with all of the workload that we have on online learning. So I've been trying to use different platforms and different websites to help ease my mind and ease my stress.
And what about you, Margaret?
Well, you guys know me. I just love to work with others and serve them.
Serving others.
Is that when I serve others, I love myself.
That's self-care.
Self-care.
All right. So see you guys next week.
Right.
Bye.
Your mind matters.
Hey, you guys. Welcome back to the Chanel East Coast Show. Now, you guys, this show is something very different. I know it is something you are not used to seeing out of me. However, it's going to get more and more interesting as we go along. Each show, we're going to be telling you the untold stories of the fashion industry. Today, we are focusing on Giovanni Versace. And the reason we are focusing on him is because he is a famous designer, okay, from back in the day that we all wear his brands, but a lot of us know nothing about him, just like we don't know a lot about other famous designers, whether they're still here or not. We still don't know a lot of information about some of our top models. We don't know information about some of our makeup artists. We don't know information about show producers and production. You know, again, I don't mean to seem like I want to just talk about negativity, but one thing for sure, two things for certain. We cannot grow in any industry unless we know what comes with every aspect of that particular industry. So again, today we are talking about Versace. Next week, we're going to actually talk about Kate Spade. So if you do know of any articles I need to read in regards to Kate Spade, if you are aware personally of anything, maybe you met Kate Spade one day, you know, maybe you're friends with someone who's friends of her PR. Don't be afraid to inbox me on Instagram. You can find me at the Chanel London East Coast Show on Facebook, okay? And you can DM me any questions you may have about today's show, our future shows, or you can simply give any ideas that you may want to talk about in the future. But for now, we're going to continue to tell the beautiful Miss Champagne here, the wonderful makeup artist for Runway Studio Salon, a little bit more about Versace and, you know, what was the outcome of his beautiful life. So,
Yes.
I introduced you to who he was,
Yes.
what he did, and what he became the most famous for.
Yes.
But now we're going to talk about the horrible day that he came to his demise. So, Versace was only 50 years old, you guys.
So he was still young, basically.
That would have made him, oh my gosh, am I really about to tell y'all my age? That would make him about 4 years. No, that would have been about 6 years older than what I am now. So that's very short lived. That man's life was cut off too young. Could you imagine? Because that means, you know, he would have still been around. He would have been a little older.
But he would have still made an impact.
Yeah, like, man, I just wonder what his fashions would be like now, you know, if he was still here.
Honestly, I would still feel like it would like be a game changer,
Mm-hmm.
but also it'd be like designs would be like just right there. Like it'd be something that will bring like the fashion industry like to a nice little
Just like a come to a meet together in the
Yes.
middle. I
And it
get
would
what you're
have him,
saying.
like shake it up.
Yeah,
give him
like-
something new.
He definitely would. Man, come on. Look at what he did without even having social media. You know what I'm saying? Without even having social media, look at how far he went.
Yes.
So I can only imagine if he did have social media now, when had nothing coming. So anyway, Versace was only 50 years old when he was murdered. And he was murdered outside of his South Beach home in Miami, somewhere I would love to go. Have you been to Miami?
No, I really haven't been to Miami. I haven't been to Florida. So
Really? I'll tell you what, you guys, I think it's about time I find something to do in Miami so Champagne could come out there and do my makeup and we could just floss, okay? That's what we need to do. But yeah, and I wonder if they even let you, you know, go to South Beach and see the home that he lived in. I wonder. I'm going to have to research that.
honestly, if they do, it will probably be like, you know, paying for a visit or something.
Yeah, like a museum type of visit. Type of
Yes,
thing.
unless you just walk past and you're like, oh, that's Versace house right there.
Yeah, you know, and I bet you that's what they're doing in Miami. They probably walk right past his house.
Right.
But we're going to find that out too. I'm going to do some research, you guys, because I don't really know a lot about his house and where it stands and if you can get to it or not. In fact, we are on live. If you do know whether or not Versace's home was ever turned into a museum or if they let you go there, please, by all means, hit us up and let us know. But anyway, he was murdered outside his South Beach home in Miami, Florida. And that actually happened on July 15th, 1997. So my oldest daughter was like a year old when that happened. Where were you at 1997?
In 1997, I was not thought of yet.
Oh, you weren't even born yet.
No.
Look at that. See? And that's wonderful. And see, it again explains why I'm reading this story to her, because this is a fashion designer that was out and vibrant before her mommy and daddy decided to bring her into this world. So how is she supposed to know who Versace is? All right. So anyway, yes, again, he was murdered on July 15th, 1997. The beloved fashion designer was gunned down by a 27-year-old spree killer, Andre. I might chop this up. Cunahan, and they found him dead in a Miami Beach house 8 days later. Which is kind of weird to me reading this, right? Because if he's 27 years old and he's been going on a killer spree, and Versace happened to be one of those persons, okay, what at that point made him decide he needed to take his own life? Why?
I would have to say, like, a lot of people want to avoid jail time. Even though they did the crime, they always want to avoid jail time.
But don't you think he would have assumed that he could, have that same situation happen and still go to jail? Like, if he's murdered other people, we would think he would still end up going to jail. He would think that.
Yes, and also what I find crazy is that nobody never catched him till it was Versace that passed.
And that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if after he committed that crime, did it come to him that he just killed a very, very famous designer? And maybe that he felt like would come down on him harder than anybody else.
Yes, because it's like once you kill a famous designer, it's like you got their family, you got their fans, and you got everybody that admired their work and respected them coming after you.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to do a little bit more research on the young man who took Versace to his demise. Now, with this, I did learn that this was done outside and Versace was found on his steps. And so sad because unfortunately, Versace was survived by his long-time partner, Antonio D'Amico. It says the couple even worked together with his longtime partner designing for the Versace sport line. So here you have a wonderful designer who has a wonderful partner that loves him and is supporting him, even to the point where he's designing right along with him. Did you even know